head between these two. Season series was split at 1 apiece with both teams winning on the road, but the Warriors throughout the season really a shell of the current roster that's got all systems go heading into Game 1 on Thursday. That's when it all starts by the Bay, and there's a fan base well acquainted with these moments, but going about it in a new building. Last time the Dubs reached the finals, Kawhi and company turning out the lights in the East Bay, the last game ever played at Oracle Arena. All right, let's set the stage with the book breakers and dream makers, CBS NBA analyst Tim Doyle and the Wizard of Odds, Kenny White. Fellas, the focus now fixed on a lone matchup. It's the Celtics and the Warriors for the Larry O.B. We're going to come at this from all angles over the next few days, but let's begin on the current series price. Dubs are a $1.60 favorite here, taking on a Seaside that just survived 2 Game 7s. But we're talking two men who make a living finding value here. Kenny, talk me through your point of view on this series.
Yeah, Joe, when you're this deep in the playoffs, my question is, do I add in the experience that the Golden State Warriors have playing in 6 of the last 8 conference final or championships, NBA championship finals? So my numbers say Golden State by 4 every game at home and the Celtics by 3 every game in Boston. And if I run that in my model, it says the Warriors are a $1.28 favorite to win the series. It's going to be a great series, and it's going to go back and forth. But I can't see a factor that I can, maybe the eye test. My eye test says I think Boston's a better team. My numbers say the Golden State Warriors are better by 1. But again, do I factor in that experience level that the Warriors have playing this high? And if I do, then it kind of switches my entire bet, and then I'm on the Warriors in this series. So I didn't give that experience for being in the finals. I'm taking the Celtics plus $1.40. And I'm going to ride with the C's because my eye test says I think they're the better team.
All right, so Tim Doyle, we know that Kenny's working off of the numbers, the models, the eye test. We know you work off of gut sometimes. These two teams, very different experiences when it comes to their final experience, but that big 3 in Game 7 for Boston really showed out. Can they carry that here into a series with the Warriors who have all of that experience?
The Celtics have been quite the roller coaster ride, right? I mean, how do they lose Game 6 at home, right? The series was supposed to be over. Even Draymond Green is going on TNT saying, well, we all know Boston is going to win until they don't. And they made it very difficult on themselves the last 2 series. But I thought the most impressive win throughout the entire postseason wasn't against the Heat in Game 7. I'll go back to the previous series. They went to Milwaukee, down 3-2. They walked on the best player in the planet's home court and beat him handily, and Tatum was the difference in that game. And that, to me, was the wow moment. Now, there has been some inconsistencies. They haven't played hard at times. They've missed a ton of shots. Their offense looked weak. But, man, they have figured out ways to win. And, that sustainability is something that has impressed me because they have endured injuries. As Marcus Smart is not 100%. And I think the Warriors have benefited from maybe catching teams, let's just say at the right time. You play Denver and Jokic doesn't have Porter or Murray. They get the Grizzlies in a very tough series. Oh, John Morant doesn't play. I would say that helps. And then Luka Doncic just clearly did not have the supporting cast. Game 2 was really the swing game in that series. I was more impressed, though, that the Warriors are 4 at home and Boston's 3 when they're favored at home. Like, that is like if a train leaves San Francisco at 4 o'clock, another train leaves Arizona at 2 o'clock, and they both go 65 miles an hour. Where are they going to meet? Right in Kenny White's basement, because when he starts throwing numbers like that, all I see is Allen from The Hangover. Like, the numbers are just like flashing in front of his eyes. So Kenny likes the Celtics. Heck, I like the Celtics too.
Yeah, you always want to be on the same side as Kenny White. Both of our guys here picking up that $1.40 worth of value, but it's sort of a Mike Tyson paradox. What are you going to do? Plan changes when you get punched in the mouth. The Celtics are likely going to throw blows here and try and muck things up with a much faster, maybe cleaner offensive approach that we see out of Golden State. TD, what if we want to go a layer deeper here? Give me a game number. It's taken the Celtics 7 the last 2 go-arounds. If it's going to be Boston, how long does it take to get it done?
Yeah, I think that Boston, their wins on the road are the ones that have impressed me. This series is going 6 minimum. So that's where I'm going to kind of focus on. Obviously, there's no value there compared to everything else. If anybody wants to bet the Celtics to sweep this series, I'll tell you this right now. I want to drink Bloody Marys with you. I want to drink White Claws with you. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all the great servicemen and women out there that protect us and allow us to come out here and just tell you who to throw your money on. I mean, what a world we live in. It's an amazing thing. And thank you out there on this Memorial Day. But Kenny, this series is not going 4. It's not going 5. I say Celtics in 6.
Yeah, I agree. And great call, Tim. Thanking everyone, all the service people out there for all their service. And it is a great country. And you're right, it is a great country that we get to talk about sports betting now every single day. I'm looking at this. The favorite is to go 7 games. When you have 7 games that there's not going to be a favorite bigger than 4 points, it looks like it's going to be a choppy series, and it's going to go 7, and it should be the favorite. But since I like the Celtics and I'm betting the Celtics in this series, I got to hope it ends in game 6. I don't want this to go 7 games and the last one is in California. I want the last one to be in Boston, in Massachusetts. Let the Celtics win at home, 4-2. And I think that's the best value, plus 350 on 6 games.
They were met with a similar opportunity earlier this week. They did have to head back to the 305 to get it done. I mean, sign me up for 7 either way, because we love the drama here on HQ, guys. We're really, we're weighing the hunger of being bannerless against the experience of having 3. The only really resume note lacking for Steph Curry as a Finals MVP. Both of you are currently painting a picture in green, so I assume that will continue for Curry. Kenny, what's the MVP ticket you plan on buying? 1, 2, where do we need to spray a couple bucks here in the MVP market?
Yeah, well, again, you're going to pick the MVP for the team who you think's going to win and who you're betting. So I have to bet somebody on the Celtics, and obviously you got to put some money on Jason Tatum. He has turned his game up to another level. He's now one of the top 5 players in the entire NBA, and he's going to be a big factor in this series. But Jaylen Brown, when I saw 10-1 on him, he's Robin. And hey, Robin's done a lot of good things in his career for Batman. And you never know when Robin has a better 7-game stretch or 6-game stretch. And I think Jaylen Brown's that type of player. If he gets hot and he's streaky, he could have 3 or 4 30 games in a row, and he could be end up being the MVP. So if you like the Warriors, the other guy is Klay Thompson at 18-1, I believe I saw him at. That would be a bet if you like the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jason Tatum. I picked him before the playoffs started, Joe. And I'm Robin to Kenny's Batman. Is Russ Robin to you, Joe? That's what I'm wondering. Because Russ came in with a strong, big voice to open the show. I was excited. Hair on the back of my neck stood up a little bit. I go, let's party right now. I think here's a guy I'm going to give you, just throw it out there because both ends of the floor. Marcus Smart, right? And Andre Iguodala won the MVP. My boy had him that year. He's 40-1 when the Warriors won and they knocked off the Grizzlies. He won the MVP in the finals that year because it was both ends. So, can he shut down Steph? And what shut down Steph? 20 points, 21 points for a series. So I think he's got some value there. But I think at the end of the day, if the Celtics win, as we're both predicting, I think Tatum gets the MVP.
It's more of a Captain America, Iron Man situation on the desk here. Fancy myself a Tony Stark. I just like the mansion, the cars, the technology. I need it all, TD. Let's get some winners here for Game 1 as well. Numbers go as follow. Dubs given 3.5 at home, so right around Kenny's number. Totals coming in at 211.5. TD, you go first. Give me the who and the why.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics have done amazing things on the road. Which Celtics team's going to show up? I have no idea. How could you predict this team? How do you lose Game 6 at home and really get run out the gym? Now you go play the Warriors on their home floor. Hey, if you want to bet Golden State, I get it. They have looked outstanding at home in the postseason. They have not lost a game at home. But I feel like 3.5 is like the creepy voice, Kenny. It's like, come on, bet me. So I'm going to take the dog here. In order for me to win my bet, Boston has to win one of these road games. So you're going to give me 3.5 points as well. I'm going to take all them, but tall task, emotional series, beat the Heat in 7. Now you got to fly out to San Francisco where the Warriors are just chilling. Let's just say this is not a mortgage payment type of bet, but I'll take the points.
Yeah, Tim, I like the philosophy. If you like the Celtics, you figure they're going to get one game or Game 1 or Game 2. They got to win one of those two. It would be great if they did. That really helps us win in 6 games. And my number, I made Golden State 4 in the game for Game 1, and I think that's a solid number. I think that's what it's going to go to. I think you're going to see a close 4. So I'm not betting the side. I have no value there. But my total, I did make the total 217. Open 210.5. It's been bet up to 211.5. I think you're going to see 212, 212.5, maybe 213. So I'm going over here, and I love unders. I will flip to the under sooner or later, maybe game 2, maybe game 3, as soon as these teams, they get to know each other a little bit better and it starts to get a little bit heated, I'm going to flip over to the unders. But right now I'm going to go over because there's a lot of firepower on both these teams.
Yeah, we know if the Undertaker is on the over, there's good reason that he's standing there. That's Kenny White and Tim Doyle. Entertaining as always. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, let's take a look at those plays on the series price and beyond. $1.40 worth of value there. Tim Doyle, Kenny White, never been 1 or 2 to pass up that type of value. They're scooping up the $1.40. Kenny made the Warriors closer to a $1.20, $1.25 favorites here. Series length, Tim Doyle, Boston in 6, Kenny White with the cosign. As for game 1, it's the C's catching the 3.5, and Kenny White says over is the play to make in game 1.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.